Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. First of all, I would like to thank the Shruti Foundation and the Music Forum for having invited me over today to present this session. I deem it a great blessing to present this session today in honor of my Guru Vidwan Sri B Krishnamoorthy sir. Srimati Nandini Ramani auntie's speech actually overwhelmed me. I have to say that I am immensely grateful to her for giving me this opportunity to learn under Sir through the Sangeet Natak Academy Fellowship. Like her father initiated Sir's learning under Mahavidwan Mudikondan Sri Venkatramayar, Nandini Ramani auntie facilitated 4 of us musicians, students, Srimati Sumitra Vasudev, Shri Sikkil Gurucharan, Shri Kunnakudi Balamurali Krishna and I to learn from Sir as a part of Sangeet Natak Academy's Advanced Fellowship. She took great interest and care to reach out to us and made sure that we took the opportunity, and can't thank her enough for the blessing that she gave us. Words don't suffice to speak about Sir. Sir's contribution is multifold. For Sir, music was penance, Sanskritam was penance, mantram, tantram, everything was consumed his life, I should say. All these aspects were such an integral part of his life that if even for 1 minute he was kept away from all this, he couldn't bear the separation. And his devotion towards all his gurus, not a class would pass without him mentioning about his classes with his gurus and telling us anecdotes, telling us what aspects his gurus used to focus on while teaching him and how much he has benefited from his guidance, from their guidance and their association. Sir used to keep mentioning Mudikondan Anna also in classes. He used to say, Anna appdi paaduvar, Anna paadra mari varave illa. And if Sir has to say that, then I don't know where we all stand today. And when we learned from him, he was past 80. He was almost 80 and 80 plus. And at that age, he managed to remember all these complicated Pallavis and not just remember them, also teach that to us and notice every small mistake or every small flaw that we would make, not just in Layam, not just in the structure of the Pallavi. For B Krishnamoorthy sir, Ragam was of primary importance. Raga Bhava could not be sacrificed at any cost. Whatever the complexity of the Pallavi or the composition for that matter of fact, he would insist on us focusing on Raga Bhava. And for him, Ragam Tanam Pallavi was a complete entity, not just singing the Pallavi line and Trikalam. It involved Ragam, Tanam and a comprehensive Neraval and Trikalam. And he used to focus on us singing Neraval in every class. So when he used to teach us a line, first and foremost we had to sing Neraval for that. That was his primary focus. he used to say இத்தனை பெரிய லைனில் ஒரு விஷ்ராந்தி கிடைக்கணும், ஒரு ராகபாவம் கிடைக்கணும், அந்த காம்ப்ளெக்சிட்டி தெரியாமல் பாடணும், அந்த ஏஸ்தட்டிக்ஸ் போகாமல் வந்து அந்த லைனை கடைப்பிடிக்கணும். I mean, these are all very high goals and high ideals, but definitely we can strive to at least focus on that. Even if we reach a certain distance, it's something very great for students of music. And he got the wonderful opportunity of learning so many wonderful Pallavis from Vidwan Sri Mudikonda and Venkatrama Iyer, and he taught us so many of those, and as also his own Pallavis. My focus in today's session is on the Pallavis that he basically taught us, the variety of Pallavis that he passed on to us. Sir's contribution, like I said, is multifold. It is not just restricted to Ragam Tanam Pallavis. His repertoire of kritis was fantastic. Like Nandini auntie said, he has published multiple books. He learnt almost 300 to 400 kritis of the Umayalapuram Pathantara from Sri Umayalapuram Swaminath Iyer's son, and published a book of notations of all these kritis. Later on, and he had a vast repertoire of Dikshitar kritis, of the Trinity, of Kavi Kunjara Bharati, of also he published a book on Divyanama kritis, and also some rare kritis of Puchi Srinivas Iyengar, Patnam Subramaniar, at the instance of Dr. V. Raghavan. Plus a wonderful teacher, and I don't have the caliber or the age to speak about his music, but whatever I am presenting today is what he has shared with us, and if there are any flaws, I beg forgiveness. And again, Sanskritam was his life. Not a class would pass without him telling us about some shlokam or the artha of the shloka, and he would say eppadi irukku paathiya, and that kind of involvement in whatever he did was just fantastic for us to see. I think, for all of us to emulate. It's not enough that we learnt all these things. It was very important that we internalized all of what we learnt and presented it with that kind of integrity that he kept up and he passed on to us. So as far as the Pallavi repertoire is concerned, I will just go through different kinds of Pallavis. He first taught us, of course, Pallavis which were very popular in those times, sung by Mahavidwans of those times, his peers, and certain Pallavi lines echo in our ears whenever we hear them, like Parimala Rangapate. Like that, he taught us multiple Pallavis like these, and of course he would give us the opportunity to experiment with it, in the sense we could sing it in Nalakalai, we could sing it in Rendakalai, we could sing Neraval for it in Nalakalai or Rendakalai, whatever was our choice for the day. But that was the first set of Pallavis that I would like to speak about. I'll just sing a few of them for you. You might have heard these Pallavis before, because like I mentioned, these were popularized by or sung very frequently by Vidwans of his times or his seniors. And also most of his Pallavis were in major ragas, like Kalyani, Shankarabharanam, Bhairavi, Todi, and Saveri, and so on. Of course, there were other Pallavis also, but majority of the Pallavis, he believed in first, getting used to singing Pallavis in these major ragas. We had to fill the line, first thing, with Neraval, and with that kind of Vishranti. Actually, if one heard him sing, you would not even realize how complex the line was. He would would just sit like this and not even put talam, but all the words would fall on the wherever it had to fall, and only we will be like putting talam like that and making it seem like it was so complex, but for him it was very seamless. That is because of the siddhi that he had achieved by constantly being immersed in the Sangeetam. And that's why it seemed so seamless. It didn't seem like a mathematical exercise. It didn't seem like a complex exercise that one could not comprehend. Taraka Brahma Swarupini Tamarasa Vilochani Taraka Brahma Swarupini Tamarasa Vilochani Taraka Brahma Swarupini. And this again can be sung in Nalakale also. And then a Pallavi in Shankarabharanam Ragam. Unad Padam Tunaye Oraru Mugane. This was a very popular line of those times. Unad Padam Tunaye Oraru Mugane. Unad Padam Tunaye Oraru Mugane. Unad Padam Tunaye Oraru Mugane. Unad Padam Tunaye and a Pallavi in Bhairavi in Telugu. Mayaga damudu rangaya mayaga damudu rangaya mayaga damudu. And it seems very deceptively simple, but this was not all. This had to be sung. I mean, Neraval was 1 hour, just Neraval. Just imagine two of us. Most of the times, actually, we four used to never end up going together. So it used to be only two of us. And Maya, and the Ga Sherili, and the Ga and Araga Padu, and the Re and Araga Padu. So, one line Mudikarathukkulle will feel like, oh, we thought we sang it correctly, but only then it was such an eye opener for us that evlo Shruti Shuddhama padina poradu, Sthana Shuddham evlo mukkiyamங்கிறதுக்கு வந்து ரொம்ப இன்சிஸ்ட் பண்ணுவார். தட் இஸ் ஒரு கமக்கமும் எந்த அளவில் இருக்கணும், ஒரு ஸ்வரமும் எந்த அளவுக்கு அசையலாம். பல்லவியாக இருந்தாலுமே சரி, like even if it's not, you don't have to necessarily sing a composition or a ragam. Even if it is a pallavi, unadu and the gama pa ella has to padam tunaye oraru mugane unadu. And also he'll say ஒரு மாடுலேஷனோட அழகாக படி, இங்கே சத்தத்தை குறைக்கணுமோ அங்கே சத்தம் குறைக்கணும். அண்ட் ஆல் இட் should not be monotone. வல்லினம் மெல்லினம் was of primary importance. he should say அந்த சங்கதிகள்லாம் அழகாக கேட்கணும், பூர்ணமாக கேட்கணும். that even if we were just singing a line in Trikalam also, the sangatis had to fall in place, and they had to be replete with raga bhava, if I can say that. And of course the very famous Parimala Rangapate. And then he also taught us pallavis in like Rupakatalam, in Sankirana Chapu. In those days it was very it was a very popular thing to sing Pallavis in Mishra Chapu, in Sankirana Chapu, in Rupaka Talam. So that was one kind of Pallavis that he taught us. Like in Nata Kuranji Mahima Teliya Tarama, again a very popular line. Mahima Teliya Tarama, Mahima Teliya Tarama, Ramani Mahima Teliya Tarama, Ramani Mahima Teliya Tarama, Ramani Mahima Teliya Tarama, and so on. So for this Pallavi, actually you can also sing Trikalam if you choose to. It is not just the Naraval Pallavi. You might think that it is in Rupaka Talam, so it does not have too much scope, but it has scope. And Mahima Teliya Tarama, Ramani Mahima Teliya Tarama, Ramani Mahima Teliya Tarama. Dani Sari Sani da Mahima Teliya Tarama, Magasa Sani da Ma, Dani Sa Sani da Mahima Teliya Tarama. And you can sing it in Urukalai, and you can also sing Trikalam in Urukalai if required. These Pallavis, though they were Prachina Pallavis, sir would modify them a little bit according to his creativity. And also the way the Rama is structured in this Pallavi is very beautiful. Ramani Mahima Teliya Tarama. And usually we hear Venkataramana being sung in Mishra Chaputala. Sir structured it slightly different for us in Sankirana Chapu. Venkataramana Sankata Harana Tirupati Venkataramana Sankata Harana Tirupati Venkataramana Sankata Harana Tirupati Venkataramana Sankata Harana Tirupati Venkataramana. So it starts after 5 and the Arudhi Karve is 8. Tirupati Venka used to make us sing swarams for Tirupati and Venkataramana, Sankataharana. Sankataharana, Tirupati Venkataramana. And in these kind of Pallavis, he used to say, Raga Bhavam Mandu Kedama Padano, கொஞ்சம் அடிதடியாக இருக்கலாம், பட் ஆனால் கூட வந்து அந்த அடிதடியிலையும் ராகம் பாவ கெடாமல் பாடணும். பிகாஸ் வேங்கடரமணம் நம்ம வந்து அந்த வரிச்சு அதில் நைசிட்டிஸ் போகாமல் ரொம்ப அழகாக பாடணும் இதுகளை. ஐ எம் நாட் பிகாஸ் தெர் ஆர் சோ மெனி பல்லவிஸ் டு கவர். ஐ எம் ஜஸ்ட் லைக் கிவிங் யூ அ கிளிம்ஸ் ஆஃப் எவ்ரி திங் and not singing it in detail, because I just wanted to cover the different kinds that he has handled. There are many more. Today is just a small selection from what he taught us. Then there was a popular trend to sing Pallavis. Even now we do sing with Kirtana lines. Using popular Kirtana lines, Pallavis were structured. So he taught us a few Pallavis like that. Muttu Kumarayane, Arul Mayane. And then Actually, when we come to Nada Pallavis, I'll sing and show that Pallavi. In Sankirna Nade, Adikadi Maname Alayade of Kavi Kunjara Bharati in Saveri. So you use the first line of that Pallavi and structured it. It's a very complex Pallavi in Sankirna Nade. And because I'm singing only the structure, it seems very simple. If it's sung in detail, you'll realize how difficult it is. I'll sing the Muttukumarayane Pallavi. It's in Khandajati Triputatalam in Chatushra Nadai. Muttukumarayane Arul Miyane Muttukumarayane Arul Miyane Muttukumarayane Arul Miyane Muttukumarayane Arul Miyane Muttukumarayane. And he also taught us a small Pallavi on Ganapati in Nattai. Every class he used to begin with Gajananam, Yakundendu without fail. And that's how every class used to begin. And sometimes even there we would be moved, because the beauty with which he used to sing just those two little shlokams used to be fantastic. And so for him, he wanted to teach us a Pallavi on Ganapati. So he taught us one in Nattai. It starts on Samam. Vande ham kunjarananam santatam vande ham kunjarananam santatam vande ham kunjarananam santatam vande ham kunjarananam. And he also taught us Pallavis in the Shuladi Saptatalas, a Pallavi in Khandajati Mathyatala in Latangi. So basically he structured it like first popular Pallavis, then Pallavis in talas like Rupakam, Sankirna Chapu, then Pallavis with Kirtana, popular Kirtanas which were set into Pallavis. Then he taught us few Pallavis in Shuladi Saptatalas, and this is one example of that. At the end of the session, I have a small clipping of sir speaking, where he'll say, எனக்கு பல்லவிகள் செட் பண்ணுறதுல ரொம்ப ஈடுபாடு உண்டு. And so any line he can think up of, he will want to set a Pallavi with that. So he was constantly thinking. So this is one of that. அரவிந்த பாதத்தை தாரும் ஐயா பன்னிரு கையா ஊனது அரவிந்த பாதத்தை தாரும் ஐயா பன்னிரு கையா அரவிந்த பாதத்தை தாரும் ஐ அரவிந்த பாதத்தை தாரும் ஐயா பன்னிரு கையா ஊனது அரவிந்த பாதத்தை தாரும் ஐயா. And then moving on to the Nada Pallavis, he taught us in Tisha Nadai, Khanda Nadai, Mishra Nadai, Sankirna Nadai, the very popular Gana Lola Karunalavala in Khanda Triputa Talam, Tisha Nadai. Gana Lola Karuna Gana Lola Karuna Alavala 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 Gana Lola Karuna Gana Lola Karuna Alavala Gana Lola Karuna Alavala Gana Lola Karuna Alavala Gana Lola Karuna Sani Rama Gari Sani Gana Lola Karuna Gari Sani Rama Gari Sani Gana Lola Karuna Alavala Gana. And you can sing Pratilomam also in this. This is in male kalam. And Pallavi in Vachaspati, in Mishra Nadai, Aditalam. Manda Hasa Vadana Hare Krishna Mampahi 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 Manda, and so on. And Pallavi in Dharmavati also in Mishra Nadai. Kanaka Sabhe Shaldarishanam Kanden Kanden Anandam Konden Tillai Kanaka கசபேஷல் தரிசனம் கண்டேன் ஆனந்தம் கொண்டேன் தில்லை கனக சபேஷன் தரிசனம் கண்டேன் ஆனந்தம் கொண்டேன் தில்லை கனக சபேஷல் 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 தரிசனம் This is the Pallavi structure in Urukalai. And also Atita Oedipus, different kind of Oedipus. And one a Pallavi in Kalyani Ragam. In those days, it was a practice to have the Aridi in between a word also. So this Pallavi is an example of that, where Nata Raja, the Aridi is on Ra and not after Natara Ja. The Aridi is not on Ja. So this is an example of that. In Chatushra Rupakam, this is a very popular Pallavi, also sung in Chatushra Nadai, but sir structured it for us in Khanda Nadai in Chatushra Rupakatalam. Undarishanam Kidai Kamo Nataraja Undarishanam Kidai Kamo Nataraja Dayanidhe Undarishanam Kidai Kamo Nataraja Dayanidhe Undarishanam Kidai Kamo Nataraja. So the Aradi falls in between a word. And then moving on, sir has thought up of different kinds of ideas. Of course, today Pallavi innovations have taken place galore. We have artists coming up with so many new ideas, but the foundation has been set by these masters. If not for their contribution and if not for them showing the path for us to innovate, I don't think anything would have been possible. So sir taught us a Pallavi in Aditalam. The Laghu is in Nalukalai, the first Dhritam is in Rendukalai, the second Dhritam is in Urukalai. So it's an Aditalam. There are 3 Angams, 1 Laghu, 2 Dhritams, where the first Angam is in Nalukalai, second Angam is in Rendukalai, the third Angam is in Urukalai. Sharab Varnabha Guhane Shanmukhane Sharab Varnabha Guhane षण्मुखने शरवणभ गुहने षण्मुखने शरवणभ गुहने. So Sharavana Bhava Guha, till that part it is in Nalakalai. Ne Shan is in Rendukalai. Mukha becomes in Urukalai and then it goes back to Nalakalai. So this is how the Pallavi is structured. I'll just try singing Trikalam for this. I have not tried. I'm just going to try it here. Sharavana Bhava Guhane Shanmukane Sharavana Bhava Guhane Shanmukane Sharavana Bhava Guhane Shanmukane Sharavana Bhava Guhane Shanmukane Sharavana Bhava Guhane. And if you have to do pratilomam for this, Sharavana Bhava Guhane Shanmukane Sharavana Bhava Guhane. So when the when you speed up, the talam also becomes, because your Udukale becomes half there. You have to turn that fast. And actually inspired by this Pallavi, I requested my Guru Shri R.K. Sri Ram Kumar to compose a Pallavi for me with the same concept. This is just to say that these Pallavis inspire us. They give us more ideas to work on. And in Khandajati Atatalam, where the first lagu is in Nalukalai, second lagu is in Rendukalai, the Dhritams are in Orukalai. In Khararapriya, I requested him to compose this for me to sing at the academy actually. Hara Priyatmaja Pahi Gajanana Patita Pavana Vidushe Kharahara Priyatmaja Pahi Gajanana Patita Pavana Vidushe Kharahara Priyatmaja Pahi Gajanana Patita Pavana Vidushe Kharahara Priyatmaja Pahi Gajanana. So, first lagu Nalukalai, second lagu Rendukalai, and the Dhritam in Orukalai. And another example of a different kind of Pallavi. We all have, many great Vidwans have sung Swarakshara Pallavis. This one is in Khandanade in Aditalam, a Swarakshara Pallavi. Sada ninpa dame gati sarasa padane sada gati sarasa padane sada ninpa dame gati. The Aldi Karve is 6. Sada nin padame gati sarasa padane. And to develop more on this Pallavi, we can use different ragas and use the same swaraksharas if need be. Sada nin padame gati sarasa padane sada nin padame gati sarasa padane sada in Kalyani, or sada nin padame gati sarasa sada nin padame gati sarasa padane sada nin padame gati, and so on. So we can make it a Ragamalika Pallavi also using the same swaraksharas, multiple sada. We can also use different combinations, different ragas. And then Sir has composed Anuloma Pallavis. Like, of course, many great vidwans have handled this concept, where there is Trikalam and Tishram in the Pallavi structuring itself. The entire Pallavi structure has Trikalam and Tishram. This is again a Pallavi. Like I said, most of his Pallavis were in major ragas like Shankarabharanam, Kalyani, Bhairavi, Todi. Again a Pallavi in Shankarabharanam. In Aditalam, you will find it's a Nalukalai. You will find all three columns, first speed, second speed, Tishram, third speed. Kumaran Tiruvadi Maravadir Maname Kurachirmi Manavalan Chendil Kumaran Tiruvadi Maravadir Maname Kurachirmi Manavalan Chendil Kumaran Tiruvadi Maravadir Maname Kurachirmi Manavalan Chendil Kumaran Tiruvadi Maravadir Maname. So this is the Kumaran. Kumaran is in first speed. Tiruvadi, second speed. Maravadir Maname in Tishram. Kurachirmi Manavalan Chendil in third speed. So Trikalam, Tishram in the Pallavi structuring itself. Kumaran Tiruvadi Maravadir Maname குறச்சிறுமி மணவாளன் செந்தில் கூமரன் திருவடி மறவாதிரு மனமே. குறச்சிறுமி மணவாளன் செந்தில் கூமரன். So this is in rendu kalai. The same Pallavi was sung in rendu kalai. This is how the structuring will be. So you can hear Sir speaking about this at the end of the session also. And this was one of his ideas. Of course, in 108 talas, Sir has composed Pallavis in many of the 108 talas. And like Nandini auntie mentioned, he sang, he was there when his guru sang the Simhanandana Tala Pallavi. We will just look at a few more examples. A Pallavi in Ragavardhana Tala, which is 19 aksharams. It is in Ramapriya Ragam. I will explain the talam first. The talam is 2 dhrithams, 1 anudhritam, 1 dhritam and 1 plutam. 2 dhrithams, 1 anudhritam, 1 dhritam and 1 plutam. So the total is 19. A plutam is a count of 12. Govinda Hare Gopala Govinda Hare Gopala Mampahi Govardhano Dhara Govinda Hare Gopala Mampahi Govardhano Dhara Govinda Hare Gopala. So the Aradi falls on the plutam, where the plutam begins. Govind. I'll sing the structure once more for you to get an idea. So the Pallavi begins after 3 and the Aradi Karvai is 12. Govinda Hare Gopala Mampahi Govardhano Dhara Govinda. Actually, Govardha, there's a catch there where 4, 4, the dha is 5 there. Govardhano Dhara Govinda Hare Gopala Mampahi Govardhano Dhara This is in Ragavardhana Tala. He also taught us Pallavis in Kokilapriya Ragam, Kokilapriya Talam, and so on. And then coming to the magnum opus Simhananda Tala, we got Kunnakudi Balamurali Krishna, and I got the blessing of singing along with him for a lecture demonstration for a presentation of Vidwan Sri K.R. Ganesh, where Sir sang the Simhanandana Tala Pallavi. Like you all may be aware, the Simhanandana Tala is 128 aksharas. The Pallavi begins on Samam. I will just explain the Tala. It is very difficult to grasp in one go, but nevertheless, I will just mention the Angas of the Tala. 2 Gurus, 1 Laghu, 1 Plutam, 1 Laghu, 1 Guru, 2 Dhritams. 2 Gurus, 1 Laghu, Plutam, Laghu, Plutam, Guru, Laghu, Laghu, Kakapadam. I did not repeat anything. I am just saying the... I did not repeat any Angam. This is the entire structure. A Guru, as all of you may be aware, is a count of 8. Plutam is 12. Kakapadam is 16. Though we see, this is how generally we see Guru is demonstrated, but Sir used to ask us to put Guru like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that was his way of structure, demonstrating the Angam Guru. But nevertheless, I'll sing it like this because people understand it this way. Simhanandana Tala Pallavi by itself is a terror, and to sing it along with so many other Pallavis is a huge task. Today I was just trying to recollect all the Pallavis, like most of the Pallavis he taught us. There's so much variety. So each Pallavi requires work. Each Pallavi requires special focus, special attention. There is so much that can be done with each Pallavi, and so this is just a canvas that he gave us, and also that I've just given you the base of what the Pallavi is. So there's so much more to work on. Mam pahi Shri Raja Rajeshwari Chandra Shekhari Shiva Shankari Simha Vahini Sevaka Janapalini Kapalini Manimalini Varashulini Ma. This is when the asa the structure has ended now. Mampahi is where it begins. I'll sing it once more. Mampahi Shri Raja Rajeshwari Chandra Shekhari Shiva Shankari simha vahini sevaka janapalini kapalini manimalini varashulini mam pahi Shri Raja Rajeshwari Chandra Shekhari Shiva Shankari simhavahini sevaka janapalini kapalini manimalini varashulini mam pahi Shri Raja Rajeshwari. This is one Navartanam of Neraval. So sir used to sing this very seamlessly. Actually, I am sitting and putting all, we all used to be like, oh, what is the next Angam? But sir will just sit like this and sing. The entire Pallavi Neraval, and it was, I mean, this was at the age of 80. And you can imagine how he would have sung at his prime. I will conclude with just one more Pallavi. Sir is known to have sung the Shatkala Pallavi at the Music Academy in the year 2007. He demonstrated the Shatkala Pallavi. Only 3 people, as far as we know, have the fame of having demonstrated the Shatkala Pallavi. One is Shatkala Govinda Marar, one is Shatkala Narasayya, and his guru Mudikondan Sri Venkatarama Iyer. There is this recording available in the archives of the Music Academy. You can go look it up, the year 2007. So, talking about Shatkalam, sir has also given an idea of what the history of Shatkalam and how talas have been documented in texts like Natya Shastram, Bharatarnavam, Adi Bharatam, and a Tamil text called Tala Samudram. And he also mentions where there are 10 kinds of lakshanas for talams, like Tala Dasha Pranas, etc. And there is a explanation for the Tala structure. The Shatkala Pallavi was also known as a Shanmarga Pallavi, where it is in 32 kalai. So 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. And thereby there are 6 options of bringing it down. So just imagine 32 kalais. What I sang now is 128. This the entire count of the 32 kalai is 256 in Adi Talam. So, and he sang this when he was 76 or something at the Music Academy. And what a feat that must have been. And he was accompanied for this presentation by Vidwan Sri B Krishnamoorthy and Vidwan Sri K.R. Ganesh. I mean, it's not easy playing for the Pallavi also. because you don't know where it's starting, where it's ending. And I remember even for this, for the Simhanandana Tala Pallavi, it used to be a queue for Bala Murali and I. When the Kapalini, Manimalini comes, so we know the Talam is going to end. So it used to be like, oh, finally, it's come. Of course, it will come with practice. If you sing it multiple times, crore times, it's going to register. So I will sing the Pallavi and show you in Nalakalai, because it's very difficult for someone to understand the Pallavi also in 32. This is what I got from the archives of the Music Academy. So I have just managed to notate the Pallavi. Navarasarasika Shikha Mane Sad Guna Nidhe Chandra Kula Shekhara Navarasa Rasika Shikha Mane Sadguna Nidhe Chandra Kula Shekhara Navarasa Rasika Shikha Mane. This is the Pallavi in Nalakalai. So he has sung, after singing an elaborate round of Neraval in 32 Kalais, he brought it down to 16, 8, 4, 2, and he sung Ragamalika Swarams, because it is, this Pallavi speaks about Navarasa. In Kamas for Shringara Rasa, Asaveri for Adbhuta Rasa, Athana for Veera Rasa, Varali for Karuna Rasa, Sama for Shanta Rasa, and so on. And the he's begun the Pallavi saying Veera Rasa Rasika Shikhamane, Adbhuta Rasa Rasika Shikhamane, and Karuna Rasa Rasika Shikhamane, and so on. Just imagine, the Pallavi itself is complex to remember the structure and then also sing a Raga Malika, and is no mean feat. He also taught us one Pallavi in 8 Kalai. That's the maximum we have gone. No 16, no 32. I'll first sing it in 4 Kalai. Ananda Purna Bodho Oham Shivoham Sachidananda Purna Bodhoham Shivoham Sachidananda Purna Bodhoham Shivoham Sachidananda Purna Bodhoham. So this is in 4 Kalai. I don't know whether I'll succeed in singing it in 8 Kalai, but I will just make an attempt. Purna Bodho Oham Shivoham Sachidananda शिवो हम सचीदा नल्द पूर्ण बोधो This is the structure. A little small variations. This is in Ettukalai. So this is a vast subject. It's like an ocean, and it requires immense sadhana to be able to remember and sing. We might be adept at singing manodharma, we might be adept at singing any kind of raga or niraval or swaram, but it's not just that. To present such a complex thing and still making it sound not complex is a very difficult task, and to be able to fill the space, such a huge space that we have to fill, and for that our raga knowledge has to be so sound that we should be able to fill that space without sounding repetitive, without sounding like we are pushing sangatis into the structure. So that is what he used to make us work on and try and achieve. It's a lifelong journey, so there is no end to learning this. We'll just conclude by showing I just have a couple of very short videos of one sir speaking about his lineage and how he learned from Sri Mudikonda and Venkataramayar, and also about one part about how he structured the Anuloma Pallavi. And I'm very grateful to Srimati Prema Rangarajan aunty for giving me this CD. This documentary on sir was done by Srimati Lakshmi Venkatraman. So this is just a snippet from the documentary. You can view the entire documentary to get more information about sir and about his life and how his sadhana and his journey. This is just a very short snippet from that, and then we conclude with a small segment of sir singing Ragam and Tanam for the Simhanandana Tala Pallavi that we presented along with him. So this was when he was 84, probably 83, 84 when he sang that. So just a short recording.
காரைக்குடியில் 1945 நினைக்கிறேன். அப்போ ராமையங்கார்னு ஒருத்தர் ரொம்ப சீனியர் மோஸ்ட் டிசைபிள் பாரியக்குடி ராமையங்கார். அவர்கிட்ட குடியில் 1945 நினைக்கிறேன். அப்போ ராமையங்கார்னு ஒருத்தர் ரொம்ப சீனியர் மோஸ்ட் டிசைபிள் பாரியக்குடி ராமையங்கார். அவர்கிட்ட இந்த ஆரம்ப பாடங்கள்லாம் கற்றுக் கொடுக்க சொல்லி இங்கே நான் என்னுடைய என் ஜேஷ்ட பிராதா என்னோட அண்ணா ராஜமீர் சொன்னார். அவர் சொல்லி நம்ம ஆரம்ப பாடத்துலேருந்து ஆரம்பித்து ஒரு வர்ணம் வரைக்கும் கேத்துடைக்க சொல்லிக்க சொன்னார். அதோட அங்கே எஸ்எம்எஸ் ஹை ஸ்கூல்னு ஒன்று இருக்குது. அந்த ஸ்கூலில் தான் நான் படிச்சுருந்தேன். அதோட கோவிலூரில் சமஸ்கிருதத்தில் சுந்தர சாஸ்திரின்னு ஒருத்தர், அவர்கிட்ட கற்றுக்க முடியாத சந்தர்ப்பம் கிடைச்சிது. இப்படி இந்த 3 விதமான பிரயோஜனத்தை பகவான் எனக்கு அனுகிரகம் பண்ணார். சங்கீதம், சமஸ்கிருதம், எஜுகேஷன் 3ஐயும் அவருக்கு கொடுத்தார். அதுக்கப்புறம் மெட்ராஸுக்கு 1947, 46, 45 வந்துட்டேன். நான் அவர் சுதந்திரம் தேர்ந்து இருக்கும்போது மெட்ராஸில் நான் இருந்தேன். அப்புறம் எங்கள் பெரியவர் ராஜமீர்னு ராஜமீர் சங்கீத கலாநிதி ராஜமீர்னு அவர்கிட்ட தான் நான் ரொம்ப நிறைய கற்றுக்கிட்டேன். அதோட கற்றுக்கிட்டேன்னு பிரதர்னு சொல்கிறத விட குருகுல வாசம் பண்ணினேன். அப்போது அவர் என்ன சொன்னார், என் டைம் இருக்க மாட்டேங்கிறது, இந்த மியூசிக் காலேஜில் அவனை சேர்த்து விட்றேன் அப்படி சொன்னார். அப்போது சென்ட்ரல் காலேஜ் ஆஃப் கர்நாடிக் மியூசிக்னு இருந்தது, டெல்லி கவர்மெண்ட்டுடைய கண்ட்ரோலில் இருந்தது. அப்போ முஸ்லி சுப்பிரமணியர் தான் அதுக்கு பிரின்சிபால். அப்போ டி.கே. ரங்காச்சாரி, டி. பிருந்தா, சுவாமிநாத பிள்ளை, இவெல்லாம் பெரிய பெரிய வித்வான்கள்லாம் இங்கே இருந்தது. அவாட்டெல்லாம் கற்றுக்க முடியாத ஒரு சந்தர்ப்பம் இருந்தது. அதனால் பலவிதமான பாணிகள், பலவிதமான மெத்தட் ஆஃப் சிங்கிங் இதெல்லாம் தெரியறதுக்கு ஒரு வாய்ப்பு கிடைச்சிது. அப்புறம் மியூசிக் அகாடமிலே டாக்டர் ராகவன், வி ராகவன் அது செக்ரட்டரியாக இருந்தார். அவர் தான் என்ன முதல்ல அப்பாயின்மெண்ட் கொடுத்தார். அப்போ ஒரு ஃபெலோஷிப் ஒன்று கொடுத்தார் டெல்லியில். பல்லவி ராகந்தானம் பல்லவியை ஸ்பெஷலைஸ் பண்ணுறதுக்காக ஒரு ஃபெலோஷிப். அதில் பாலக்காட்டு மொழியர், உடுகுண்டான்ற பேர், டாக்டர் ராகவன் 3 பேர் பேனலில் இருக்கா. அதில் நான் பாடினோடனே எல்லாருமே கிருஷ்ணமூர்த்தி கொடுக்கலாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டார். அப்போ முழுண்டாவிட்டு போய் நிறையா இந்த பல்லவிகள் கற்றுக்க முடியாத ஒரு வாய்ப்பு எனக்கு கிடைச்சிது. அதனால தான் எனக்கு இந்த சிம்மநந்தன பல்லவி 32 கிழவெல்லாம் மியூசிக் அகாடமியில் பாட முடியாத சந்தர்ப்பத்துக்கு அவருடைய போட்ட இந்த டெல்லி சங்கீத நாடக அகாடமியில் ராகந்தான பல்லவியில் நான் ரொம்ப மெனக்கிட்டேங்கிறதுனால எந்த ராகந்தான பல்லவி எனக்கு கிடைச்சதோ 30-50 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னால் அதே ஸ்கீமை மறுபடியும் ரிவைவ் பண்ணி என்ன அப்பாயின்ட் பண்ணினா. அதில் இந்த சிக்கில் குருச்சரண், அமிர்தா முரளி, சுமித்ரா, பாலமுரளி கிருஷ்ணா, இந்த 4 பேர் வந்து பல்லவி கொடுத்தாங்க. அந்த பல்லவிக்காக என்ன பண்ணினேன்னா பலவித பேட்டர்ன்ஸ் பல்லவி அழைச்சி கொடுத்தேன். அதாவது பல பேட்டர்ன்ஸில் பல்லவி இருக்குது. அதில் அனுலோம பல்லவின்னு முதல்ல ஒன்று பண்ணினேன். அனுலோம பல்லவின்னா என்னென்னா, ஒரு பல்லவி எடுத்துக்கிட்டா 1ஆம் காலம், 2ஆம் காலம், திஸ்ரம், 3ஆம் காலம், இது 4 பண்ணி மெயின்டைன் பண்ணணும். அப்போ அதான் ஒரே பல்லவி எடுத்து இப்படி 3 தான் பாடுவாள். நான் என்ன பண்ணினேன், ஒரே பல்லவியை நான் ஒரே ஆவர்த்தத்துக்குள்ளேயே இந்த 3ஐயும் 4ஐயும் பண்ணலான்ட்டு கோமரன் தேர்வடி மரபாதிரு மனமே அது திசையில் வந்துடும். குரச்சிறுமி மணவாளன் செந்தில் 3ஆம் காலம் வந்துடும். குமரன் திருவடி மரபாதிரு மனமே. இந்த மாதிரி பல்லவி அமைச்சு கொடுக்கறதுல ஒரு ஈடுபாடு.
This was, I think, when Sir was almost 86, I think, when this documentary was filmed. Irkolya. Just I end with a short snippet of Sir singing.
Na 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 tadara na 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 ta na 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 na
In this recording, he first sang Tanam and then he wanted to sing more Ragam, actually on the day of the presentation. So he's... Sir was past 80 when he sang this. I've just cut it a little bit because it is, This is the structure in male column. If you notice, he was not even putting talam actually towards the end, but he was not looking at us either. So that was the structure was so ingrained in his mind that he didn't even find the need to, such a big talam, he didn't find the need to actually keep count of it. So really, I seek his blessings for further growth and further learning. And I thank Shruti Foundation and Music Forum for giving me this opportunity to reminisce some of these beautiful Pallavis and the beautiful music that Sir was so generous enough to share with us. And I beg forgiveness again if there were any flaws. This was just I was just sharing my joy with all of you. Thank you very much, and thank you for the patient listening.